When one does a scan of the Bible, they will notice that the Ten Commandments are found 2 times. First in the book of Exodus, in the portion of Yisro, and then again in this week's Parsha, in the book of Deuteronomy, in Parshas Vaeschanan. The truth is that a large chunk of the book of Deuteronomy is repeating that which we already know from the previous 4 books of Torah. The reason for this review is that after the 40 years in the desert, Moses recognizes that the people he currently leads are not the same ones that he led out of Egypt. It's a new generation of Jews. He therefore reviews all the teachings with them, ensuring they will know what Almighty God wants from them as they are about to enter into the promised land. But why the 10 Commandments? Certainly something as central and special as the 10 Commandments would have been well known by all. Why did Moses find it necessary to review this as well? We also find that in this review of the Aseret HaDibros, there are some differences from the first time around. For example, the first word of the 4th commandment in Exodus is Zachor, to remember the day of Shabbos to sanctify it. While in this week's Parsha, the first word of the 4th commandment is Shomor, to guard the day of Shabbos to sanctify it. While God communicated both versions simultaneously, something which only God can do, they are written in the Torah in 2 places with this slight difference. Couldn't the Torah have just recorded it the first time with both words together? Something like, Zochor v'shomor es yom HaShabbos l'kadsho. Perhaps we can say that these 2 questions are connected. Moshe reviewed everything, even the 10 Commandments, which were well known and observed, to teach us the central role that review has in studying Torah. In yeshiva language, this is called Chazzarah. People often make the mistake and think that it is only the seldom practiced laws which need review. It's only the difficult subjects that need review. Those things which we do day in, day out, week in and week out. I know it already. I know it already well. So why waste my time reviewing it? But this is a big mistake. Moshe is teaching us even the 10 Commandments need to be reviewed. For when it comes to Torah, since it is the wisdom of Almighty God, it is impossible to know it completely. There's always more to discover. There's always a new dimension that you missed the first time around. Only through proper Chazzarah will you be able to discover it. This is why in the Torah, the second time around, there are new words and phrases not recorded the first time, emphasizing this idea that it's only through reviewing it over and over that you will discover the new dimensions. During the time of the Talmud pre-printing press, it was the norm for students to review each lesson 100 times. Now that we've been blessed with the printed book and World Wide Web, maybe we don't need to review it 100 times. But we should not assume that we've understood a Torah law or captured a subject by having studied it only once. The Talmud in Tractate Eruvin, page 54a, shares with us the following beautiful teaching of Rabbi Chia bar Abba, who said it in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. What is the meaning of the verse in Proverbs chapter 27, verse 18? He who guards the fig tree shall eat its fruit. Noitzer te'eno yoichel pirya. And Rabbi Yochanan would say, why were matters of Torah compared to a fig tree? Because just as this fig tree, whenever a person searches it for figs to eat, he finds figs in it, as the figs on a tree do not ripen all at once, so that one can always find a recently ripened fig, so too with matters of Torah. Whenever a person meditates upon them, he finds in them new meaning. Make no mistake, most of our time studying must be focused on fresh subjects and material. But from time to time, it's critical to do Chazzarah, to review that which we already know. Now, some of you may be listening to this right now and saying to yourself, this is obvious. Of course we must review our studies, even the subjects we are well versed in. Where's the Chiddush? What's the new message you're trying to convey? But that's the point. It may be obvious and known, but even that which is obvious and known needs to be reviewed. This week we read the special Haftorah, which begins with the words, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. Console, console my nation, says Almighty God. Here too we have a double terminology of consolation. It's the beginning of the process of returning to Hashem in a most love-filled and wholesome manner. May we merit the true and ultimate consolation for the Jewish nation with the coming of Mashiach without delay. I wish you a good Shabbos.